Hello YouTubers, welcome to vlog number 80. Today I'm heading to Caversham to do some workouts. Got some other things to do there as well. So I've got a bicycle, an erg, and I'm going to go back to Leander and do some weights. I think. Alright. Going to drive to Caversham now. Got my smoothie over there somewhere. Let's get to it. And I've made it to Caversham successfully. Right now there's no wind, so the water's flat. Oh my god, yeah! Right, it's a bike for the first workout. Let's get changed and let's get to it. And we've made it to the Caversham erg room at the GB Rowing Training Centre. And as you can see, I'm on the erg bike today rather than the watt bike. So I thought, why not discuss what I feel the differences are between the watt bike and the erg bike. I had a few questions about that, so why not answer them in today's erg bike thoughts with Buchan. So let's get to it as I go along in this workout here. So I think the main difference, well, one of the differences actually, one big difference, is the erg bike, the seat post doesn't go as high as like on a default. So a few more clicks would be quite handy, especially because rowers are usually quite tall, but I suppose it's not all about the rowers for the erg bike. So it doesn't quite extend as high on the sort of seat post that comes with the bike, unfortunately. So it doesn't, I don't quite fit on it 100%, but I suppose I am slightly out of the average size at 6'9". So there's that. The handlebars, we'll just talk about everything about the bike, I suppose. The handlebars, I prefer them to the watt bike handlebars. They're angled a bit better, I think, but I think that's because the seat post itself goes higher than the the handlebar post goes higher rather than when the watt bike is actually quite low. So it's a trade-off. So you either get a higher post in the handlebars or higher seat post. I think the seat post is more important because, as we've seen in my previous vlogs, I can just add sort of that pole across the chest and just lean on that. What else? Okay, so the actual feeling of using the bike. So when you can imagine the erg, you've got the fan and you're generating the power on the fan. So you're pulling the chain and it's like whirring the fan along. And so you've got a similar idea with the concept to erg bike. You're whirring along the fan. But it is different, it has a different feeling than the watt bike. So I've always experienced differences from watt bike to watt bike, from erg to erg. I've discussed that before in the drag factor videos, how one level 5 drag factor and one erg can be different from one level 5 drag factor to another. And it's kind of similar in the watt bike, whereas one watt bike you could pedal and you're doing 200 watts and then the exact same feeling of effort and you're doing maybe 220 on another one or 180 on another one. So it's really good to be consistently on the same machine, because then you know, okay, this effort gives me this result. And it seems to be quite varied. As the machines get older, things can be quite changeable actually, especially if they're not taken care of very well. And I'm thinking that's the same on the erg bike, because even just the few that we have at Caversham, they're different each one, and there's like on the row machine, you don't have to do much maintenance for it to survive. But it seems like maybe it's just because it's a bike and there's more moving parts, maybe, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But it seems to be easier for it to degrade as it goes on. Maybe I think it's belt driven. It feels belt driven, and so maybe the belt itself slackens off over time. And I think I could be wrong in this. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. The watt bike is chain driven, and this erg bike is belt driven, and you can definitely feel the difference there. Pretty much, it seems smoother on the erg bike all the way around, and then on the watt bike, there's a little catch, usually at the top of the drive on. So when your one foot is at the top, there's like a little kick, especially when you're a bit lighter on the power and you're just sort of fading through. But I suppose that is the fans going and the chain's not caught up yet, so that's not too bad, but it's definitely more noticeable on the watt bike. What I prefer, erg bike or watt bike, really, they're both really good training tools. So the screen on the watt bike, the screen on the erg bike is exactly the same as the erg, which I actually don't really like, because when you're spending thousands and thousands of kilometers on the rowing machine, you get a little bit of variation when you jump onto the watt bike and you have a completely different screen. You don't know what it means, and you can just kind of, that's a little bit of thinking you can do while you're working out. And like I said before, variation can help motivation. So I think screen wise I would give it to the watt bike, but overall, so if you could switch screens, it doesn't really matter to me, just keeping track of watts. But I think that is it for erg bike thoughts today. Let me know in the comments below which machine you prefer, or maybe there's another one that you prefer. Those were the Swiss bikes we have as well, or any other stationary bike, or perhaps you have your own opinion on one of these two that I've already discussed. Let me know. I'll see you after the workout.
Hello YouTubers, vlog number 1. And we're in the crew room. Fantastic session on the bike. Very sweaty. 240 watts, heart rate, something, lactate 1.8. So that's a good sign. And now we've got breakfast. Got a burrito, beans, eggs, Berkshire muesli, yogurt, fruit. We're on the game train. Oh yeah, buddy. We're gonna finish this, mess around next session on the erg. Let's get to it. Oh, and it is a hefty windy day outside today. Just covering a little bit with the vehicle, the Yaris. Today was really good so far. Not weights. Bike, erg, bit of core as well. Strengthen up the old belly with all the gains we're getting. Gonna need to be strong to hold this. As well as seeing all the guys around, it's really good to see them being at Caversham. Remember, variation helps the motivation. New hashtag. So we're coming down here for a little change instead of going to the club, training here, good. Getting the lactates done in my ear, that's another way to check how my body is coping with the training. So there's a certain number that you're supposed to be, or certain range your blood lactate level is supposed to be within to get in those training zones talked about before, about heart rate. Blood lactate level is another one, perceived exertion is another sort of range in which you want to try and stick in for those different training zones. And the more information you can get, the more accurate you can be. So the rest of the day I've got big weight session with big Fraser Christie again this afternoon. Don't really know what time it is just now, but I'm going to get some food at Leander Club, maybe a couple of crew mains, because remember, hashtag food is fuel. But I think that'll be it for the vlog for today. You've seen enough of Fraser and I lifting. Let me know if you like the change of scenery. Remember, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that like button. Have a good one.